All right, so today we're diving into a vehicle that's trying to be a whole lot more than just a car. This is the Geely Galaxy M9, and they're pitching it as, well, a complete reinvention of the flagship SUV. So let's get right into what makes this thing so incredibly ambitious.
This question is really the heart of the whole project. It's a seriously bold mission statement, you know? It suggests a vehicle that just refuses to make any compromises. Can a car that fits 6 people in total comfort also handle like a sports car and think like your personal assistant? That's the wild idea we're going to break down.
So first things first, let's talk about the look. I mean, how in the world do you design one single car that appeals to everybody everywhere on the planet? That was the massive challenge for the Off-Andy's design team, and their whole approach was, well, it was pretty fascinating.
And this quote right here, it gets to the absolute core of their philosophy. The designers actually called it the aesthetic greatest common divisor. The goal was to find those basic, fundamental elements of beauty that we all recognize, whether you're looking at a stunning piece of architecture in Europe or an ancient palace in Asia. It's all about finding that shared visual language.
And this really shows you what that philosophy looks like in practice. You know how big SUVs can often look kind of intimidating, like these big, aggressive boxes on wheels? The goal here was the exact opposite. They wanted to create a feeling of grandeur, but without being bulky. It needed to feel large and powerful, sure, but also welcoming and open, not like some kind of fortress.
So how'd they actually pull it off? Well, a few really clever decisions made a huge difference. For starters, they lowered the main window line by 30 millimeters. Now, that might not sound like much, but it completely changes the car's proportions, creating this unique 1:1.2 body-to-window ratio that makes the cabin feel incredibly open. And up front, that grille? It's not just a grille, it's a light show with 816 LEDs. What's really cool is that the Chinese design team saw it as the Milky Way, while the European team saw Van Gogh's Starry Night. Talk about universal appeal, right? Okay, so let's move inside, because that architectural vibe definitely does not stop at the doors. The team wasn't just designing a car cabin, they were designing what they call a mansion on wheels. The big idea for the interior is this concept called the 3-courtyard mansion. This comes straight from the layout of old Chinese family estates, where you'd move through these different spaces, and each one had its own unique feel and purpose, from public and grand to private and cozy.
And this idea maps directly to the 3 rows of seats. The first courtyard is up front, that's the command center. It's designed to feel powerful and just packed with technology. The second courtyard is the VIP lounge, that middle row, which is all about a noble, super spacious experience. And then you have the third courtyard, the cozy little retreat way in the back.
Now, here's the most important part about that third row. It is not the penalty box. You know that cramped, claustrophobic feeling you get in the back of most SUVs? To kill that feeling, they put in this absolutely massive side window they call the Mont Blanc panoramic window. And get this, it's literally bigger than the window in a Boeing 787's business class. It just floods that third row with light and makes it feel huge. Okay, we've hit design, we've hit space, now let's get to the intelligence. The really hardcore tech. The M9 is basically built around what Geely calls 3 AI brains that all work in harmony to control everything about the vehicle.
So these 3 systems are the AI digital chassis, which is all about how the car moves and feels, the AI smart cockpit, which is your entire in-car experience, and of course, AI assisted driving. The key thing is that they're all woven together to create one big, seamless, intelligent system.
The first brain, the AI digital chassis, is basically designed to solve all the classic problems of big SUVs. You know what I'm talking about. They're a pain to park, they drink fuel, and they can feel kind of slow and sluggish. The M9 uses AI to control the motors and suspension to go after every single one of those issues.
And here is the single most mind-blowing result of that AI chassis. 3.45 meters, that is the turning radius of this nearly 17-foot-long SUV. That is a tighter turn than a Volkswagen Golf. It pulls this off by using 2 independent motors on the back axle to create a huge difference in torque between the wheels, letting it basically pivot in place. It's an absolute game changer for city driving.
And the numbers for performance and efficiency, they're just as nuts. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 4.5 seconds. That's deep in sports car territory. And yet, the hybrid system sips fuel at just 4.8 liters per 100 kilometers. And the real showstopper? A combined range of over 1,500 kilometers. You could drive from Paris to Rome and still have gas left in the tank.
So the second brain is the AI cockpit, and the heart of that is the voice assistant Eva. Now, Geely says Eva isn't just a tool that takes commands, it's an empathetic intelligence that actually has a memory. So if you mention you like window seats at restaurants, it'll remember that and show you those options first next time you search. The idea is to make it feel less like a tool and more like a true co-pilot.
And EVA is all part of this new Flying Auto 2.0 system. The main event is this giant 30-inch 6K screen. And something really neat is that its AI can take older, lower-res videos and actually upscale them so they look sharp on that beautiful display. And of course, you've got all the phone integrations you'd expect and super detailed lane-level navigation.
So we've got this cool design, a mansion-like interior, and 3 super smart AI brains. But what does all this tech actually mean for the people who are going to be driving this thing every single day? Let's start with the most obvious scenario, right? The family. This thing is designed from the ground up to be the ultimate family road trip machine. For a family, that third row isn't some afterthought. It's a real living space where you can recline 150 degrees. The cargo space is huge, but it's also really clever. Fold that third row down and you have over 1,000 liters of space. But you can also fold the second row seats flat, which turns the whole back of the car into a massive van, or even a place to sleep. Throw in the rear entertainment screen, and yeah, it's pretty much a living room on wheels.
But hey, what if you're not hauling kids around but a ton of gear? Well, the M9 is also positioned as this amazing tool for adventurers. Think photographers trying to get to that perfect remote spot.
For someone like that, having over 1,500 kilometers of range means you can cross huge, remote areas without ever worrying about fuel. The car also puts out 6 kilowatts of external power. That's enough to run a whole campsite, charge all your drones and camera gear, you name it. It's basically a mobile power station that can get you pretty much anywhere.
So after looking at the design, the interior, the tech, and how you'd use it in the real world, the last question is, does all this stuff actually add up to something that changes the game? The base model starts at just under $27,000 for a flagship SUV. That's just wild. Even the top-of-the-line all-wheel drive version with everything comes in at around $36,000. Well, let's just put the numbers right next to each other. That turning radius isn't just a little bit better, it's in a completely different universe. The acceleration is what you'd expect from a performance car, not a 6-seat SUV. And the range is almost double what a lot of competitors can do. It really seems like, on paper at least, they've figured out how to eliminate the classic trade-offs of owning a big car.
Which brings us to our final thought. The Geely Galaxy M9 makes a really strong case that by using intelligence in the chassis, in the cabin, in the engine, you really can't have it all. You can get the space of a mansion, the performance of a sports car, and the efficiency of a small hybrid. So the question it leaves us with is this the new blueprint? Is this combination of smart tech and thoughtful design about to become the new standard for every big family car that comes next? It's a pretty exciting vision of the future, all rolled into one vehicle.
That's it for today's review. If you enjoyed deep dive into the Geely Galaxy M9, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't yet, and let me know in the comments. Would you buy this? Thanks for watching, and I see you in the next one. Peace.
In a room so still, each word I write bends the world to my will. Eyes that see but never blink. They ask me why, but I just think. That bind a life to